Let us chant the last 5 verses of Atma Bodha. Om Pratah Smarami Hridi Samsfuradhatma Tattvam Satchit Sukham Paramaham Sagatim Turiyam Yasvapna Jagara Sushuptamaveti Nityam Tad Brahma Nishkalamaham Nacha Bhuta Sankaha Drishyate Shruyate Yadyat Brahmanonhyana Tad Bhavet Tatvajnana Cha Tad Brahma Satchidanandamad Sarvagam Satchidatmanam Jnana Chakshurnirichyate Ajnana Chakshurneksheta Bhasvantam Bhanumandhavat Shravanadhibhirubdhiptaha Jnanagni paritapitaha Jivas sarvamalan muktaha Svarnavadhyotate swayam Kridakashodhito hyatma Bodhabhanustamopahrit Sarvavyapi sarvadhari Bhati bhasayate kilam Digdesha kaladhyanapechya sarvagam Shitadihridhanitya sukham niranjanam Yasvatmatirtham bhajate vinishkriyaha Sa sarvavid sarvagato mrito bhavet
Pratasmarami hridi samspuradaatmatattvam Satchit sukham paramaham sagatim turiyam Yatsvapna jagara sushuptamaveti nityam Tad brahma nishkalamaham nacha bhuta sangha. We'll continue with verse number 66.
Shravanadibhiruddhiptaha Jnanagni paritapitaha Jivas sarvamalan muktaha Svarnavadhyotate swayam Shravanadibhiruddhiptaha Jnanagni paritapitaha Jivas sarvamalan muktaha Svarnavadhyotate swayam.
The individual, heated in the fire of knowledge, kindled by listening, etc., freed from all impurities, is self-effulgent like gold. The individual, heated in the fire of knowledge, kindled by listening, etc., freed from all impurities, is self-effulgent like gold. The last few verses talking about how knowledge reveals Brahman. Heated in the fire of knowledge, kindled by listening, etc., freed from all impurities. So, the Brahman, the Atman, is obscured by impurities. The technical name for the impurities is vasanas. So, the Brahman is obscured by vasanas. And vasana is nothing but ignorance. The self is covered by impurities. Technically, it's called vasanas. And what is vasana? Vasana is nothing but the ignorance. When the ignorance is removed, the pure self comes out. When the ignorance is removed, the pure self shines forth. Ignorance, vasana, is like a shroud covering. Knowledge removes the covering. So, knowledge, by helping you to remove the covering, the ever-shining Brahman is revealed. The question is, what is the process of removing the ignorance? Whole Vedantic knowledge is only this one thing. What is the process by which the ignorance is removed? What is that process? Shravanadidhi ruchyate. Like listening, etc. Like listening, etc. Like listening, etc. means the three cardinal principles. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. This self is revealed by Shrotavya, Mantavya, Nididhyasitavyaha, O Maitreyi, his Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. This technique is clearly laid out in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, where Yajnavalkya tells Maitreyi, this is how you know the self. How? By the method of Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. So, the process of ignorance is removed by these three. Practice of Shravanam, Mananam, and Nididhyasanam. Once this process has happened, heated in the fire of knowledge, the intellect is heated in the fire of knowledge. When the intellect is heated in the fire of knowledge, like the metal is heated in fire, when the metal is heated in fire, it turns into gold, it is pure. Similarly, when the intellect is heated in this knowledge, it turns pure. It turns pure. And how does it happen? By the process of Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. These three lights the fire. Example is self-effulgent like gold, freed from impurities, freed from all impurities, is self-effulgent like gold. The gold is hidden. It's not available for a lay person. What is available for a lay person? The superficial The dirt and the mud and the dust is available for a layperson. A person who wants this gold digs deep into the earth, takes the and very difficult to identify that there is gold in that. For a layperson size, you won't even see the gold. If you go to the mines, they will show you a huge rock and say this is gold. You don't see gold at all in that. It's only a piece of rock. You don't see any gold. And that rock is made through the process, breaking down, sieving, cleansing, etc. Whatever the process is, and then finally what you get, the shining gold. Intellect goes through a similar process. When it goes through the similar process, it recognizes the self, which is self-effulgent. Like the gold is hidden, Brahman is hidden, as it were. Brahman is not hidden, it's there everywhere. Even now it is there. Yeah, even now it is there. The one who is talking is Brahman. The one who is listening is also Brahman. It is there now. But it's not. It's there now. It's not known. It's not seen. That's all. It's there. It's not that Brahman is hidden. Why it will go and hide? What can cover it? But a layperson is not able to see it. Why? So caught up in this ignorance. After you are extricated from the material world, you need to extricate yourself from the material world. Just as the gold is mixed with, the rock. So first thing that ought to be done is, it ought to be separated. First thing. What is it that you ought to be separated from? You ought to be separated from the material pursuits. First necessary condition is you ought to be separated from the material pursuits. Is there a method by which I can know the Brahman while continuing my material pursuits? Is there a way to recognize God as I am continuing? Sir, I will not leave. Don't ask me to leave all these things. Is there a method by which Brahman can be understood? If the gold has to be separate, if the shine of the gold has to be seen, the first necessary thing is it ought to be separated from the gross material entanglements. And what is the nature of the mind? As it is suffering from one entanglement, it will go and get bound to another entanglement. The mind. As it is suffering from one entanglement, it will go on identify with another entanglement. As it is frustrated with one, it will create a conducive environment for the next frustration. It is frustrated now, and what it will do? It will go and do something which is a guarantee for the next round of frustration. This is called material entanglement. First necessary thing is to extricate yourself from this material entanglement. And when you extricate yourself from this material entanglement, you can't leave it fully. So what do? You do it. Purvavadanam, Mahadavadanam, he said in the Bhaja Govinda. You do it bit by bit, little by little, slowly. Vada, thank you, sir. Okay. Bit by bit, little by little, very slowly I will do at my own pace. Extricate yourself from the material entanglement, and then what do? Material entanglement extricating itself is the heating process will start. As you are making an effort to extricate from the material entanglement, the heating process starts. And then it goes through the process, whatever the process is. What is the process? Ground, sieved, and then separated. Ground, sieved, and then separated. First, we will see the gold example, and then I will come to Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. For that is the real technique. For that is the real technique. The Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana is the technique. We'll come to that later. First is what the fire does. It burns the dirt and the gold. Supposing you put it in fire and gold itself is burnt, now what is the point? So the beauty of the fire is it keeps the gold pure by burning the impurities. In fact, what is the fire doing? The impurities that is unnecessarily attached to the gold is burnt away. That's all. What is happening? Again, I repeat. What does fire do? The dirt that is attached to the gold is burnt. Gold remains intact. Not only it remains intact, you see the shine. It shines forth, freed from all impurities, is self-effulgent like swarna, like gold. Swarna means gold. Swarna, he said, that's the word. Like gold. Now the process of gold extraction is very clear and straightforward. Now imagine that you are who are you now? Who are you now? The combination of gold and dirt. Who are you now? Don't say gold, huh? Yeah. If you say gold, you have already realized. If you say dirt, then again it's wrong. Who are you now? A combination of that dirt and gold. You are that. The jiva is that. The individual is that. So the individual is a combination of the dirt and gold. What is the dirt? Ignorance is the dirt. So what the knowledge does, the fire, what the knowledge does, it burns away. What it burns away? It burns away the ignorance. What is the process by which it burns away? Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. Now we will discuss these three, Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. For he says this is the process, and the original reference to this is Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, where Yajnavalkya taught this to Maitreyi. Yajnavalkya, the husband, taught this to Maitreyi. How the self can be known? Maitreyi asks. For this, Yajnavalkya says, Rotavya, Mantavya, Nididhyasitavya, meaning Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. Ignorance is of threefold impurities. Why Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana? Because ignorance is threefold. So, specific practice for removing the specific impurity. So, first we have to understand what is the mala? Jiva sarva malat muktaha. What is the mala? Dirt, he says. And what is the dirt? We have seen ignorance is the dirt. And this ignorance is of threefold layers. What is the threefold layers of ignorance? One is, number one, it's called ajnanam, ignorance. Second is samshayam. The third is viparita bhavana. These are the threefold layers of ignorance. Shravana removes the ajnana. By reflecting upon the truths, the doubts are removed. The samshayam is removed. That is manana. Nididhyasana, which is contemplation and meditation, removes the mistaken notion. What is the mistaken notion? Viparita bhavana. Viparita bhavana means you and self are two entities. That bhavana is removed in meditation. In meditation, what happens? The meditator and the meditated becomes one. Viparita bhavana. What is the viparita bhavana? Nididhyasana. The meditator and then the meditator is meditating upon something. So there is the meditator and then there is something that he is meditating upon. So two things there. That is the viparita bhavana. Meditator and the meditated becomes one. Viparita bhavana goes out. Now, what is Shravana? What is Shravana? Shravana is Ajnana Nivritti. Nivritti means clearing, removal. Manana is Samshaya Nivritti. Nididhyasanam is Viparita Bhavana Nivritti. What is it? You didn't know that you are the self. You didn't know that there is a thing called self, and you didn't know that you are the self. By Shravana, this is removed. What is removed? You know that there is this thing called the self, and also you know that you are the self. Shravana. Shravana means listening. Shravana means listening. Reading, writing included. It's all included. Reading, writing, and all that is included. But the predominant focus is on Shravana. Second, Shravana, listening to the same thing again and again and again. That is Shravana. It's not an entertainment where you see new release every week. It's not an entertainment where season 1, season 2 keeps on coming. It's not an entertainment. So you listen to the same thing. You listen to the same thing again and again and again. That is Shravana. So by this continuous listening, what happens? There is a clarity. What is the clarity? There is the self and I am that self. How Ajnanam is removed? Because Shravanam, knowledge is taught by logic, reason, analysis. Since there is the process of logic, since there is a process of analysis, then there is a process of all this logic, reason, analysis. Shravana helps in removing the ignorance. But again, what happens? Shravana brings about an understanding in the classroom. As soon as the classroom is over, we say we meet next week. You go out. What happens? All the world that is left behind is waiting to, all the world that is left behind is waiting to come back to sit on you again. So what happens? What you got, what you understood by Shravana, you go out, doubts come. Doubts arise. This doubts is called samshayam. So what Manana does? Manana removes the doubt. Manana removes the doubt. When the doubts are removed means what? From hypothesis to theory to fact. Doubts are removed. This is what you need to understand. From hypothesis to theory to a fact. So Mananam brings about a conviction. What is the conviction? Conviction on what? I am the self. What you heard in Shravana only Manana reinforces. Manana doesn't do anything new. What you heard in Shravana, Manana reinforces. Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. The world is temporary. Brahman is Satyam, permanent. So there is the permanent factor, there is the temporary factor. That's all they're saying. There are two things to life. There are two things. One is the permanent factor, and then there is the temporary factor. Brahma Satyam is very easy to understand. There is no problem in understanding Brahma Satyam. What is the difficulty? Few classes you attend, you know that Brahman is Satyam. God alone is real, sir. God is real. Perfect. Correct. What is the difficulty in understanding that? But lot of Shravana and Manana over sometimes, like in the Bhagavad Gita, he says, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prabhadyate. Maybe many Janmas you may have to do this Shravana Manana to understand that Jagat is Mithya. For doubts, conviction is needed about what? Conviction is not needed about Brahma Satyam, you don't need a conviction. That is very straightforward. That is very simple. But where you need conviction, many janmas you may have to listen to. Like in the Bhagavad Gita, he says, Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate. Ante. Bahunam janmanam ante. At the end of many janmas, Arjuna, you may get knowledge. So what are you doing for many janmas? Shravana and Mananam. Why? Because the conviction that Jagat Mithya doesn't come at all. So Mananam is required for what? Mananam is not required to say Jagat's Brahma Satyam. That is why all other religions come and say, sir, God is real, Jagat is also Satyam. World is also real. Why are you complicating it? Brahman is also real, world is also real. What is your problem? Unnecessarily why this? Why this complication? This is samshaya. Doubts. So, Mananam is required to remove what? To understand the fact that Jagat Mithya. Mithya means temporary. Don't say non-existence. Mithya means temporary. And this temporary has to be understood as temporary is knowledge. Understanding the temporary as temporary is the conviction that you get through Manana. What Mananam does, reflection does, it brings about this conviction. What is the conviction? It is temporary. You pay any attention to temporary factor, anything that is temporary keeps. Temporary means what? Changing. Temporary means that which changes is temporary. Okay. What is the frequency of the change? That's a problem. According to my likes and dislikes. As long as I want that person must be there. The moment I don't want that person should get lost. Correct. Venkatachalam. Who's that person troubling you like that? Huh? Yeah, he's saying get lost, na, I should say. Be there, na, be there. Get lost, na, get lost. So who decides the changes? Your likes and dislikes? You decide the change? Who decides the change? What decides the change? It happens by, it is a constantly happening factor. What is the constant happening factor? The change. So anything that is called, so what is the frequency of the change? Once in a year? Once in a decade? Every Chaturthi it will change. Every Shivaratri it will change. Every birthday it will change. What is the frequency of the change? The frequency of the change is most constantly, consistently happening. That's why Swamiji keeps on saying, the person walking into the room is not the person who is walking out. You are already changed. Some time comes. Illa sir, but abdilla illiye. It doesn't appear to be like that. Are you able to follow? Though it may look logical, are you able to see the difficulty of Shravana and Manana? Though it may look logical, though it may look appealing, you will say, but it is not like that, sir. I am exactly the same for the last 35 years, sir. I didn't change at all, sir. Maybe everything changes, sir, but I don't change. Vedanta will turn back and say, maybe you are in coma for 35 years. When you are in coma for 35 years, you will not change. But then you can't be in coma either. For life is action, movement. Life equals action, action equals movement, movement equals change. Therefore, what is life? Change. Your heart breaks when change happens. You change and the other doesn't change, your heart doesn't break. You remain the same and the other changes. That's where the heart and all gets there. Heart gets broken, nightmare comes, you can't sleep, you can't do this, you can't do that, fear comes, worry comes. Somehow you want to prevent the change from happening. Somehow you want to avoid the change from happening. All this you do, though you are convinced that life equals change. Mananam removes this problem. Are you able to follow what Mananam does? Mananam removes this problem. What is the problem? What you are convinced about at the level of the information, at the level of the intelligence, you are still not able to reconcile with it. You are not still able to accept it. Therefore, what do you have to do? Lot of mananam. So when you do this mananam, reflection, what goes out? The doubts are removed. So for you to do mananam, you need Shravanam. Just Shravanam is not used. Just Shravanam alone is only Shravanam. Actually, sir, Saturday morning only I remember about Vedanta. And the rest of the time, I don't even remember about it. Abdina, that is called Kadaka Lakshapa. You are just doing time pass. It means you are just doing time pass. So, Ravanam supports Manana, and Mananam derives the material from Shravanam. So, both goes together. Shravana and Manana goes together. Meaning, in Shravana, you are listening to another person's conviction. In Manana, you are developing your conviction. Shravanam is the conviction of the other. In Mananam, you are developing your own conviction. In life, in situations, what will help you in life? What will help you in situations? Your conviction. Your conviction. That is why people say, sir, I have been listening to it for so long. I have heard everything. I know everything. I have understood everything. Isn't it? Parna, by now you will know exactly what I'm going to say, no? When I start the conversation, you know exactly what I'm going to talk for the next 30 minutes. You know that. Yeah. That is why you can do other chores and come back, and I will be still talking the same thing only. Yeah. We still doing, still talking the same thing, you know. But the transformation doesn't happen. The transformation doesn't happen. Shravana is a borrowed conviction. Shravana is a borrowed conviction. It is someone else's conviction. Mananam alone brings about your own conviction. And whenever you have a doubt, where do you derive the support from? From Shravana. As you are doing this Mananam, the mind says, அதெல்லாம் கேட்கறதுக்கு நல்லா இருக்கும். All this will be nice to hear, and these people will simply talk. Anyway, they themselves don't practice what they talk. They themselves don't believe in what they talk. So we have to be, don't take all this very seriously. What you have, what you have understood, the mind rebels against it. Samshayam is of the mind. Doubts is of the mind. And very difficult is to convince the mind. Very difficult is to convince. Why? Because we have pampered the mind so much, no? The mind is pampered so much. So pampered, it just doesn't, it just, it will not, you can stand upside down also. Mind will still say it's okay. Give me what? Give me what I want. It will not yield. It will not yield. What is it that it will not yield to Jagat? Mithya. It will not accept the fact that it is Mithya. The moment it accepts the fact that it is Mithya, the moment you are digested and you have accepted the fact that it is Mithya, Nididhyasana you are ready for. You move on to Nididhyasanam. The moment you shift from, the moment you develop the conviction that it is Mithyam, you are ready for Nididhyasanam. So for all practical purposes, we really don't talk much about Nididhyasanam. We keep circling around Shravana and Manana. And what is Manana? From what you hear first is a hypothesis. First is a hypothesis, and then a theory is formed, and then it is concluded as a fact. Shravana is more like a hypothesis and a theory, and your mind has its own doubts. What is the doubt of the mind? For which you need to know what the mind is seeking. What is the mind seeking? What does the mind want? What is the mind seeking? According to my terms and conditions. Avladhan, mind. Mind means everything should happen according to my terms and conditions. If everything is happening according to my terms and conditions, I'll be happy. This is the mind. It wants to have everything should happen according to the way it wants. And what is the reality of life? The cruel reality of life. You may agree, you may not agree. You may accept, you may not accept. What is the reality of life? Your terms and conditions will not be met. It creates a delusion as though it is being met. That's where you fall. It creates an illusion. It creates a delusion as though it is being met. The human being falls for that. And they believe that from now on, this is how it is. The mind. Second thing is the senses. Instant gratification. The senses, instant gratification. The mind, according to its terms and conditions. What are the terms and conditions of the mind? The terms and conditions of the mind technically is called raga dvesha. The terms and conditions is called raga dvesha. What I like should come. What I don't like should not come. But your likes and dislikes are changing. So what if it changes? If it changes accordingly, that should also change. Where is the problem? Where is the problem? But your likes and so what, sir? If it changes, let the accordingly the other should. Accordingly, the other should change. I say, I love you. And the other person should say, yes, I love you. Next day you say, next day you will say, get lost. And what the other person should say? Thank you and get lost. Huh? It just doesn't happen that way. So, senses, instant gratification, mind, senses, instant gratification, the mind, terms and conditions. How about win-win situation, sir? How about a win-win situation? See, மேட்ச்ல எப்படி ரெண்டு பேரும் ஜெயிக்க முடியும்? How can both the fellows win? Yeah. Draw வேணா ஆகலாம். There is no winner. Clear. There is no winner, there is no loser. That is possible. Clear. That's why the test match cricket is so beautiful about life. Huh? The test cricket is so beautiful about life because there is no winner, there is no loser, but everybody played. What a beautiful thing it is. Everybody played, but there is no winner, there is no loser. No, sir. There has to be a win-win. How everybody can win? Win-win situation. Yeah. You also win. You also win, na? Adhikda, sir. That is it. How does win-win happens? If the other person agrees to me, win-win, no? And the other person also wants you to agree. You want the other person to agree, and the other person wants you to agree. So whoever agrees is the winner. Whoever let go of their things is also a winner. Huh? How does it work? Therefore, what is the reality? What is the reality? The mind brings about the doubts. What is the doubt? Always my life should move according to my terms and conditions. While you are in the class, it is very clear that life is not going to move according to your terms and conditions, is very clear as long as you are sitting in the classroom. As soon as the class is over, exactly the opposite. அதுக்கு தான் சார் we are so objective that what we hear in the class we forget. What we hear in the class, after the class we forget, sir. We are all very objective. We don't have this problem of what you are talking and all. We don't. Yeah. That's why half of you are wondering, what is he talking? We don't have this. We don't have this problem at all. In the class we hear this. After the class over, we forget this and we go there. And when we come in here, we forget that. Shravana heats you up. Shravana heats you up. That's what he says. Knowledge, continuous listening heats you up. Manana makes it more refined. Doubts are removed. What you hear as a hypothesis, what you hear as a theory in Shravana, Manana, it turns into a conviction. What is the conviction? Brahma Satyam, Jagat Vidya. And what is Nididhyasanam? What is Nididhyasanam? In Nididhyasanam, what is it? The meditator and the meditated becomes, the two becomes non-two. We don't even say one. The meditator and the meditated, the two becomes non-two. Nididhyasana. The three processes, Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. Indications of Mananam becoming, indications that Mananam is happening in the right direction. What are the indicators that the Shravana, Manana, and the spiritual practices are happening in the right direction? What are the indicators? The frequency of the trouble, the intensity of the trouble, and the recovery time. That is the first indicator. The frequency, the intensity, and the recovery. What was troubling you so much in the past will not trouble you that much. Still trouble will be there, but it will not trouble you that much. You continue, a time will come where you will be absolutely unaffected. So the frequency of the frequency frequent வருது sir. Every time the intensity is increasing also. Yeah, frequency is there, intensity is increasing, recovery is not happening at all. Sometimes recovery takes, yeah, I don't know, few months, few years, maybe few decades also, don't know. So first indicator that, see, idella he is not giving in the verse, sir. Please understand. I am just doing time pass till 9 o'clock by saying all this. Verse is only saying fire burns it out. அவ்வளவுதான். Fire burns it out. Yeah, I am giving my own, yeah, I am making my own stories with all these things. Indicators of the jnanam, indicators of Shravana, Manana happening in the right direction. What is the indicator? The frequency, the intensity, and the recovery. Second indicator, you will not miss anything in life. You will not miss anything. Otherwise, you are always, but classes I'm missing, sir. Rest of the things is okay, but classes I'm missing. You don't miss anything in life. When the frequency, intensity, recovery is happening in the right direction, when you are not missing anything in life, internal, this is the internal state. What will be your external expression? Always cheerful, pleasant, happy. Always cheerful, pleasant, and happy. You will have a cheerful disposition, a pleasant disposition. Always cheerful, pleasant, contented, happy. This is how the manifestation of Shravana Manana. Manifestation of Shravana Manana is this. What is the internal state? What are the internal changes that happens? The frequency, the intensity, the recovery, and you will not miss anything. In the very initial stages, what will happen is knowledge, self-contradictory then. Very eloquently, I spoke about frequency, intensity, recovery, and not missing anything and all that. Diametrically opposite is what happens in the very first initial stages. What is it that happens in the initial stages? Like the Puranic story of when they started churning the Milky Ocean for Amrita, what they got first? They started churning the Milky Ocean for Amrita. Devas on the one side, Asuras on the other side. Clear? Asuras also want Amrita, Devas also want Amrita. Meaning, Asuras also want immortality, Devas also want immortality. Meaning, Asuras also wants to go beyond the changes, Devas also wants to go beyond the changes. So they both started churning the Milky Ocean. And what was the rope? For churning, you need the rope. What was the rope? The snake was the rope. And then the mountain. Churning na kadayarthukku or mattu venume. Yeah. You need a ladle. Yeah. Correct English word there. Is the English word right? Ladle you need to churn. The mountain is used as so the rope is ready, the mountain is ready, the devas are ready, the asuras are ready. Milky Ocean la mountain vecha, it is drowning inside. Clear? So what Mahavishnu did, he took the form of Kurma and he said, don't worry. So he stood there. On Vishnu, this mountain was placed, Devas on one side, Asuras on the other side, they started churning. This is the first step in Shravana, churning. What came out? All the hidden dirt and impurities that you are not aware of, that you have in you. Please understand. You are not aware that you have it in you. Shravana, by heating it up, it starts coming out. You say, sir, இந்த knowledge எல்லாம் வரத்துக்கு முன்னாடியே நான் நல்லா தான் சார் இருந்தேன். I was all right before. I was all right before coming to all this. After coming to all this only, I have become worse. Frequency, intensity, and jasti actor, sir. They will follow? Vedanta says, no, no, no. You are understanding it wrongly. The first thing is all the hidden things will come out. All the hidden things will come out. It means it was there in you already and you are not aware of it. So what happens? The poison comes. Meaning the poison that is the poison in you already. Not the knowledge is planting this poison. The poison which is there in you, it starts coming. And it is deadly. It's called Hala. Poison knowledge deadly. Yeah, it is deadliest poison. See, there is a scorpion poison, there is a red ant poison, there is a snake poison, and then there is a cobra poison. Yeah, deadly. The poison that came out is extremely deadly. It started consuming the whole thing, meaning the whole purpose got defeated. Why? Wanting to become better, the poison started coming out. And they didn't know what to do. And they all went to Shiva. They all went to Lord Shiva and they prayed to Lord Shiva. And what Shiva did? Yeah, he took the poison and he drank. And he drank. Now Muringita, yeah. I swallowed it and it went inside. As he put it inside, அதுதான் ஒரு wife வேணும்ன்றது இல்லையா? That's why wife is very important. Parvati came and held it here. So his neck turned blue. That's why he's called Neelakanta. That's why he's called Neelakanta. Some of the pictures of Shiva will look very odd. Will look very odd. They will only this particular portion looks like blue. Why? Because the poison is there. Symbolic. The poison comes out. Shiva represents tapas. Shiva means tapas. Vishnu is always equated with relaxation and enjoyment. That's why, that's why Vishnu has this. Yeah, he's in that massage parlor constantly. Yeah, there is Lakshmi constantly. Vishnu means relaxation and entertainment. Shiva is tapas. He always looks with eyes closed, not fully closed. Fully closed and is fast asleep. Fully open and involved in the world. Half closed, half open. Yeah, half closed, half open. Almost as almost like drugged state அது கஞ்சா அடிச்ச டேஸ்ட் state அது. What is that? Tapas, meaning is neither fully involved in the world nor has he run away from the world. That is the symbolism of eyes closed and half eyes open. And what is tapas? That's why he has matted locks. Shiva has matted locks. Matted locks means symbolic of tapas. So when the negativity comes out, instead of beating yourself up, instead of whipping yourself up, you develop gratitude to the knowledge, you say thank you to the knowledge, and then you make an effort to get rid of the negativity. That is tapas. The effort that you put to get rid of the negativity is tapas. And as you do this tapas, the frequency, the intensity, the frequency, the intensity, the recovery, all that works later. Are you able to see the connection? Then the sequence is very, very clear. And finally, what happens? It is convinced. Jagat Mityam. The moment you understood Jagat as Mithya, you are ready for Nididhyasana, which is meditation, contemplation and meditation. So in Nididhyasana, what is done? We have seen that already before. I am Atma Brahma. I am Atma Brahma. The Abhyasa Vakya. I am Atma Brahma. I am Atma Brahma. And then you continue this I am Atma Brahma process. You get into the actual meditation. You take that mantra Om, you chant that mantra Om, meditation, whatever it is, and then the ever-present Brahman is revealed. The ever-present Brahman is revealed. That's what verse number 66 is all about. The individual heated in the fire of knowledge, kindled by listening, etc. Kindled by listening, etc. What is it that starts it? What is it that churns you? What is it that kindles? Shravana, knowledge. Therefore, what is the purpose of knowledge? What is the purpose of knowledge? Is not to make you fall asleep, is not to sing a lullaby and make you fast asleep, is to churn you up. When you are churned up, you may not like it. When you are churned, you may not like it. But it is done for your own evolution. For the mind always likes lullaby. It doesn't like to be woken up. Mind likes lullaby. Mind likes agreement. Agree with me. That's what mind likes. Knowledge refuses to agree. That's how it is kindled. Are you able to follow? Mind wants agreement. Mind constantly wants agreement. Why can't you agree with me and do as I'm asking you to do? This is what everybody is. No, this is the mind. No. Can't you just agree with me and do as I'm asking you to do? What is your problem? Mind wants agreement. Mind wants lullaby. Mind wants agreement. Mind wants solace. Knowledge kindles. Knowledge wakes you up. And when you are woken up, it is a bit irritating. It's a bit frustrating. And you may not like it. Adna Visham. That is, therefore, it looks poisonous. It looks poisonous. Continue the Shravana Manana. Then you will get to realize the frequency, the intensity, the recovery is more. You will not miss anything in life. You will not miss anything in life. How does it manifest? It manifests as you will be cheerful, you will be pleasant. There will be a sense of contentment. What is the tapas? What is the process of tapas? At least in Atma Bodha, you should not ask this question. What is the process of tapas? Sadhana Chatushtaya. Sadhana Chatushtaya, which we have seen in the introductory verse and in the first verse. Sadhana Chatushtaya is the Shravana Manana and the Sadhana Chatushtaya. When it is like listening, etc., Shravana, etc., means Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. I am adding one more. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana is what? That's what Shankaracharya is referring to. I am adding one more. You may take it, you may not take it. Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampat. For if you don't add the sadhana, Shankaracharya's assumption is you already have the sadhana Chatushtaya. The assumption is you already have the sadhana Chatushtaya, and then they talk Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. What do I add? Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana with sadhana Chatushtaya Sampat. What is the sadhana Chatushtaya Sampat? Viveka, Vairagya, Shat Sampat, Mumukshatva. The four qualities. Sadhana, Chatushtaya. Chatushtaya means four. Viveka, Vairagya, Shat Sampat, and Mumukshatva. Refer verse number there. If I get into that details, another 2 classes will go. Atmabodha will not get over. Don't worry, since we are going to restart Atmabodha, we will do the Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampat again only. Sadhana Chatushtaya. So, Shravana-dibi ruchyate. Shravana-dibi, meaning Shravana, etc. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasanam. The 3 fundamental, at least in Vedanta, these 3 words you should remember. Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. Shravana is listening to the scriptures. Manana is reflecting upon its significance. Nididhyasanam is contemplating and meditating upon it. So, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, what is in common? Shastra, scriptures are common. So, what is the first thing in Shravana? Listening to the scriptural truth is Shravana. Are you able to follow the definition now? Mananam. What is Mananam? Reflecting upon the significance. Reflecting upon its significance, importance, value. The reality behind it is Mananam. What is Nididhyasanam? Nididhyasanam is contemplating and meditating upon it. Upon it means upon the scriptural truths that you have heard and you have understood. Shravana removes I don't know. Manana removes I know, I can't understand. I know, I can't. Manana removes I can't understand. நீங்க சொல்றதெல்லாம் கரெக்டா இருக்கிற மாதிரி தான் சார் இருக்குது, பட் ஐ எம் நாட் ஏபிள் டு. I know, I can't understand. Inability to comprehend fully what is heard. The inability to comprehend fully what is heard because of samshayams, because of doubts. And Mananam removes the doubts. Having intellectually understood Brahma Satyam, Jagat Mithya, the last trace of ignorance, is still there. What is the last trace of ignorance? I have no experience of it. I have no experience of it. And Nididhyasanam removes that part. I have heard, but I don't. I have heard. I know. First thing is, I didn't know that there is this thing called self. Now I know there is something called God, self. I didn't know the world is not real. I thought the world is, what is the initial stages? Jagat Satyam, Brahman Nasti. That's the first stage. Jagat Satyam, the world is real. There is no such thing called God. So whoever says Brahman na asti is called a Nastika. He's called an atheist. That's why the fellow is called a Nasti. The fellow who Nasti is the Nastika. Nastika means one who says Nasti. What is it Nasti? It is not there. There is no such thing called God. From this is ignorance. Shravana removes. What Shravana removes? There is this thing called God. There is this thing called God, number one. And what you think as real is not. What you think as permanent is not permanent. More than the word real and unreal, in the initial stages, use the word permanent and impermanent. You'll be able to understand better. You think the world is permanent, Shravana removes that notion. It says it is temporary. You know it. Now you know what? There is this thing called Brahman, and what you are experiencing is temporary. You know it. If you have understood it as temporary, you should be unaffected by it. Because how can temporary affect you? Are you able to follow? But then there is this affectation. But then there is the suffering is still continuing, the affectation is still continuing. How do you understand then? Reflecting upon the significance. Shravana is directly hearing from spiritual masters or indirectly through scriptural texts. That is Shravana. Either you can pick up a book and read, or you can hear from the masters directly. And when a master is teaching a scripture, and you can't get anything better than that. And that's what is all this Jnana Yajna is all about. What the teacher does, what the guru does, he expounds the book. One is you can hear the master, another is you can read a book. Listening to the master is direct, reading from a book is indirect. And listening to a master is always better than reading a book. Self-help is the best help. That is sheer nonsense. You have to hear it from a master. Why? You will read what you want to read. You will put your meanings into it and read. It means you are repeating what you know already. You are not actually reading anything. Are you able to follow? Therefore, Shravana is listening from a master. What is listening from a master? From a spiritual master expounding a scriptural text. The way he expounds it, the way he elaborates it, the logic, the reason, the explanation is all so convincing. It's all so convincing. It's all so fantastic. At the end of the class, you feel you are almost, at the end of the class, you feel you are almost there. Edo pudista madri you feel. Yeah. You feel as though you have caught something. Correct, sir. As soon as the class is over, the whole thing comes crashing down. The whole thing comes crashing down. The second phase of ignorance is that the inability to hold on to what is heard. The inability to hold on to what is heard is manana. Manana literally means repetition. Manana literally means repetition. The inability to hold on to what you have heard. So manana helps you to hold on to what you have heard. What happens? Intellectual analysis, reflection help overcome this part. So what you have heard, you will be able to hold on to. having intellectually understood what is heard and able to retain what you heard, there is still an incompleteness. What is that incompleteness? Incompleteness of not having experience. And that happens through Nididhyasana meditation. And it happens sequentially. Please understand that. Nididhyasanam, experiencing it comes at the last. It won't come in the. Don't ask now how to experience now, sir. Don't ask now. Why? Worry about the frequency, intensity, recovery. See what you are missing in life. Use the knowledge to understand the hollowness of that and gain the clarity first. Are you able to follow? Don't worry about experiencing now. If you are worrying about experiencing now, you miss Ravana and Manana. Don't put the cart before the horse. Don't worry about experiencing now, experiencing the reality now. What you should focus on? Is there any problem? Recurring problem? நிறைய இருக்குது sir. So many things are recurring. What is the frequency? What is the intensity? How much time it is taking to recover? And what is it? What is it that I am, with all this knowledge, am I still missing something? Huh? With all this knowledge, do I still have dvesha for something? Dvesha is a very good indicator, and we all have lots of dvesha. Actually speaking, sir, I don't really hate anybody per se, but when I see somebody doing anything wrong, I can't stand that. Mithya, temporary, what is there to have dvesha about it? Are you able to follow? See, sir, this corrupt politicians only I can't. Otherwise, I don't have dvesha towards anybody, sir. I don't have dvesha towards it. Are you able to follow? The Sravana Manana happening in the right direction is the dvesha starts. I can't stand. Why can't they follow the road rules, sir? That I can't stand. You have dvesha over 1,000 things, sir. The moment you understand it as mithyam, how can you get affected by it? The moment you understand it as mithya, how can you get affected? You are not, you have not yet digested it as mithyam. That's why you are getting affected. So before worrying about experiencing it, what you should worry about your dvesha, worry about what you are missing, worry about the frequency, intensity, recovery, do lot of Sravana, Manana and Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampat. When all this is done sufficiently, the last phase of ignorance, which is the experience, gets removed by Nididhyasanam. This is how knowledge reveals self. Verse number 66. Knowledge reveals the self. This is how it reveals. First let me experience Brahman, sir. Then I will deal with all this. You can't put the cart before the horse. What people are trying is that they say, let us talk about it later. First, I want to experience that. Because you hear the glory about it, you hear what an ideal state it is, the mind immediately wants to, the mind develops a greed wanting to, the mind immediately develops the greed wanting to experience it. And what is the reality? You can't put the cart before the horse. What is the sequence? Ravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Ravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampat, Dvesha, not missing anything, frequency, intensity, recovery, இதெல்லாம் Konar notes. These are all Konar notes which I am giving, which is not in the text. Where is Shankaracharya saying that? He is not saying this. He is only saying Sravana, Manana, Nididhyasana removes it. With this, we conclude verse number 66. We have two more verses. Venkat.
Yes, two clarification. Prasanna and Mala.
Prasanna, what is he saying? Here is his clarification.
Hari Om, sir.
Hari Om, Prasanna. I'm trying to read your clarification. When we say spirituality, is it not that we have to accept whatever troubles or problems of life happens? Acceptance at embodied individual personality means there will be suffering. Spirituality is the right understanding and witnessing the events of life. What is spirituality? Spirituality is the right understanding and witnessing the events of life. In witnessing, I witness the pleasure and the pain, the joy and the suffering. So what is spirituality? Spirituality in the true sense is objectivity. Spirituality in the true sense is objectivity. Sakshi Bhava, witnessing. What is witnessing? The events of when I'm witnessing it, I understand. So in witnessing, understanding is implied. Witnessing doesn't mean like a buffalo looking at it, not knowing what it is looking. Witnessing implies understanding. So what is spirituality? Spirituality is witnessing the events of life as it passes by. Are you able to follow? Witnessing the events of life as it passes by. Even this shall pass away. Even this shall pass away. Even this shall pass away. He is spirituality in the sense of Sravana and Manana. In the ultimate sense, this is spirituality on a relative plane, I am saying. On the absolute plane, what is spirituality? Jiva Brahma Aikyam. The oneness of Jivatma and Paramatma. The Jiva recognizing its oneness with Brahman is spirituality in the absolute sense. So spirituality can be seen in a relative plane. It can be seen on an absolute plane. On the absolute plane, it is self-realization. On the absolute plane, it is self-realization. On the relative plane, it is objectivity. The technical name of objectivity is sannyasa, vairagya. The technical name, English word is objectivity. The technical word for it is sannyasa, vairagya, sakshi, bhava. Seriya? Is it okay, Prasanna? You still has some clarification. Yeah, continue.
So how do you differentiate the relative stance and the absolute stance? Are there two things, first of all? Because when I am saying, when we go through life, we have to accept, we don't have a desire for anything in life. That is spirituality, isn't it, sir? Whether good things happen or right things happen, we accept, we see it as a witness. So
yes.
How is it not absolute stance? Is it not the absolute stance?
No, it is relative, because there is the seer seeing something. In the absolute stance, there is nothing that is seen.
So is it not our just a minute? Is it not our wish that we should not exist? How can there not be?
No.
எப்படி நம்ம இல்லாம இருக்க முடியும்? நம்மன்றது இருக்கும் இல்லையா?
That is why it's called relative. In the absolute state, it is not there. It will not be there in the absolute state. What you are talking about is relative. That's why I defined it in two ways. இப்போ ஐயன்றது இல்லாம எப்படி சார் போகும்? நான்ற ஒரு எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் இல்லாம எப்படி இருக்கும்? That is relative. That is why in Nididhyasanam I said the meditator and the meditated, the experiencer and the experienced, duality dissolves. That is spirituality on the absolute plane. Spirituality on the relative plane is different. Think about it and get back. It is very clear. Think about it, and still, if you still have a doubt, get back. It is very, it is, the whole class is explained. Yes, Prasanna, cholunga. Yes.
So in the absolute stance, there will be no experience in சொல்றீங்களா சார்? அப்படின்னா லைஃபே கிடையாதுன்றீங்களா?
Yes. Brahma Satyam, Brahman alone, there is no life. It is not a realized life. There is only Brahman. Brahman is not life. Life means what?
Experience.
Experience. Experience means subject and object.
But
Life means experience.
Brahman includes everything, no sir. Brahman is absolute, no sir. The Brahman, the life illam eppadi irukum? Life it is everything, no sir.
No. When you say everything, what is everything? The world is there as it is, and still you will see Brahman. That's what you mean? It is not like that. In the absolute state, it is not like that. Intellectually, we may not be able to accept it. Intellectually, we may not be able to digest it. It is a limitation of the intellect. It is a limitation of the instrument. For through the instrument, I want to theorize and understand that state. It is because of the limitation of the instrument, but the truth doesn't change because of the limitation of the instrument. That is spirituality on an absolute plane. And most of the time we talk about spirituality on the relative plane only. Why? Because if anybody has evolved to that state, they will not be sitting in this classroom. I will be sitting with that. I will be sitting under the feet of that person. Okay. That person will be talking and I will be his. Therefore, what do? We always talk about it only on a predominantly on a relative plane without compromising the idea. Are you able to follow?
I'll think about it and get back to you, sir. And still I'm not able to accept one thing, because Brahman it encompasses everything. There is no two things. நம்ம தனியா இருக்கோம் நினைச்சிட்டு இருக்கோம். There is no two things.
Correct. There are no two things. Exactly correct. Who is talking to whom then?
Actually, இதெல்லாம் it's a simulation மாதிரி சார். பிரம்மத்தோட ஒரு aspect is இந்த மாதிரி நம்ம
there is no aspect here. No. Carefully follow. There is no aspect of Brahman that is happening here. It is ignorance of Brahman. This is happening. It is not aspect of Brahman. It is the Jiva is not an aspect of Brahman. The Jiva is a superimposition upon Brahman. Jiva is not an aspect. Jiva is superimposition. Differentiate between the two. That's why I said think and come back. The difference between aspect and superimposition. Use the two words, aspect versus superimposition. It's not an aspect, it is superimposition. Next, Mala, cholunga. What are you?
Namaskaram, sir. My question may be trivial. இப்போ we need to come out of the trouble, and I mean, as an indicator சொல்றீங்க, when we will not miss anything, we'll be at ease, etc. And at the end of the day, we need to get the work done for which we need to work with others. Abhina, and you're also saying we should not analyze whether others are coming out, etc.
No, no,
Sorry,
wait,
sir.
wait. At the end of the day, work has to be done. Which work? What work?
No, but whatever role that we are doing, day-to-day work,
Yes, that
we
is
need-
from your side, correct?
அதுக்கு வந்து others mind also should be at ease and etc. Only then we
No,
will.
no, wait. For you to do your role, why should be the others' mind should be at ease?
ஏன்னா
For you-
workல
For you to do your role, only your mind has to be at ease. If I have to do my role depending on the other's mind, I can never do my role. Then what are we talking? Vedanta says you have to do your role, and to do your role, only your mind has to be at ease. Second is you can make an effort only to keep your mind at ease. You can never make the mind of others at ease. That is impossible. You cannot do that. If to perform my role, I have to make the minds of others at ease and then do my role, I can never do my role. You follow what I'm saying? Mala.
இல்ல சார் இப்போ
ஒரே நிமிஷம். They will unmute you. Yeah.
any work, இப்போ நம்ம சமைக்கிறோம் அப்படின்னு சொன்னா ஒரு ஆபீஸ்ல வேலை பண்றோம் அப்படின்னா it's a team work. I'm not talking about a work which involves only me. Any work that it's a teamwork, any teamwork னு வெச்சிட்டீங்கன்னா we need everyone's resistance லாம் வரும் etc. So we can do our part of it, but for the work to evolve, on the point of view la கேக்குறேன்.
From that point of view, you leave it to the divine to take care. The moment you bring in the team, your ego has no role after that. Your effort has no role after that. The moment you bring in the moment you bring in the team, you do your work. You do your work with sincerity and dedication as part of the team. Whatsoever the result is, it is the divine's cause. It's not your cause after that. That is where it's called prasada buddhi vandurnu. Team work nu vandurthanale prasada buddhi should come, because all action will produce a result. Action, this is the law. Action will produce a result, and the result the action produces is of 4 types. Action will produce a result, and the result is of 4 types. What are the 4 types? This is called manana. What are the 4 types? You may get exactly what you want. You may get more than what you want. You may get less than what you want. You may get the opposite of what you want. In a teamwork, any one of this is possible. But what will come, we don't know. But definitely, one will come. Like we give that, you can score a triple century and still end up on the losing side. You can hit a 0 and still hold the winning trophy. So, you may get exactly what you want, less than that, more than what you want, or the opposite of what you want. So, as an individual, what you do, you play your role with dedication and sincerity, and whatsoever the result is, you take it as prasada buddhi. So, how do you relate to the result of the action? Now you are talking about how do I relate to the result of the action? It may be cooking, it may be anything. Like my mother, my wife, they cook with so much of dedication and sincerity. Chances are salt may be less or may be more. Chances are there. Now, I fling the plate and walk out. I don't do that. I don't do all that. If I do all that, வீட்லயே என்ன சேர்க்க மாட்டாங்க அப்புறம். Whatsoever is on the plate, I quietly eat. Yeah. It may be less, it may be more. I fling the plate and walk out. Now, you are the person who has cooked the food. And what has happened, the result? The opposite of what you want. What is the opposite of what you want? You are not expecting appreciation or certification from me, but at least I eat joyfully, cheerfully, and I go out. Now, I'm walking out with anger and frustration, having flung the plate. You got the opposite of what you want. Does that mean that your role, you didn't play your role effectively? This is where you do introspection. Yes, I have done it with my dedication and sincerity. Still, I could go wrong, and I correct myself, and whatsoever the result is, I'm accepting it. It can be in relation to cooking, it can be in relation to working in an organization, it can be in relation to being a family person. It doesn't matter. This is called prasada. This is called prasada buddhi. The result of the action is taken as prasad. Prasad means howsoever it is, I take it with gratitude. Adhan prasad. Howsoever it is, whatsoever it is, I receive it with gratitude is called prasad. We have one of the temples, here. In tamarind rice also, they will not put salt. Yeah. What is the temple? What is the name of the temple? You know? உப்பே போட மாட்டான் அந்த கோயில் பிரசாதத்துல. உப்பு இல்லாம தான் இருக்கும். எல்லா பிரசாதமும் உப்பு இல்லாம தான் கொடுப்பாங்க. So what people do when they go, they carry salt with them. பிரசாதம் வாங்கி salt mix பண்ணி சாப்பிடுறதா? What is it? What is prasad here? Howsoever it is, whatsoever it is, I accept it with gratitude. This is called prasada buddhi. So in relation to the teamwork, in relation to the team, what should be the understanding? Prasada buddhi. Is it okay, Ma? Mala, did I help you? Seriya? Oh, God. Prasanna, sorry, Prasanna and Venkat. Artha clarification varthukkulla close panniduvom. With this, we conclude for today and we continue with verse number 67 onwards. Is it okay, Ma? Mala? Is it okay? Yeah. We'll continue with verse number 67 onwards.